Okay. Welcome, everyone. I will do some time just to scan the QR code behind me, and then you can ask me question during the presentation and for the end. So we'll let you some seconds. Oh my God. You are in space, guy, floating in the great emptiness. Your spaceship is drifting to nowhere. You are blip, 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 bloop. There are lots of lights, lots of sounds, and in front of you are big dashboards with lots of buttons. And yes, your life depends now on KPI, and it's literally rocket science. But okay, calm down. Let's check that together. And welcome to this journey among KPIs in retail. I'm Quentin. I'm from the point of sales expertise team. I used to be shop HR and operational manager in retail for several years, and I would like to share with you today some insights about KPI, about business, and of course, some tips in Odoo. But before we start, I would like to ask you a question. How can we improve what we can't measure? We can't. What gets measured gets done. And especially in space, you had to be quick and efficient. That's why I would like to share with you the topics from today in order to help you to drive your POS like a space rocket. So the idea is to go with 3 steps plus 1, because we all like bonuses. And we will go first with the vision. In space, you need to know exactly where you want to go, when you want to go, and how you want to reach your destination. Clarity, and of course, massive action in order to reach your smart objectives. I always add plus curiosity because there are lots of things about KPI. I won't be able to cover everything today because in sales there are so much things. So I will try to focus on some of them in order just to show you the features that I found interesting. Also, stay aware, would say Jean-Claude Van Damme, stay aware about news in KPI because now we have omnichannel KPIs, lots of new things with AR as well, and it's interesting to get to stay aware about those. So let's start with the vision. You have to start with relevant data. You make your analysis, and when you gather everything, you can set your vision based on smart objectives. I'm pretty sure that most of you already know about smart objectives, but it's always good to make some refresh. They have to be specific, measurable. Of course, that's why we are here for KPIs. Achievable, it means you need to have the resources, and relevant, aligned with your main objectives. And the last one that we tend to forget is time bound. This one is really, really important because you have to be able to answer that question. When will I know exactly that the goal has been achieved? When will I know exactly that the goal has been achieved? Because in retail, you need to set time bound in order to reach objectives and then celebrate success. If you don't put a time bound, you are always going further and further by saying we need to increase sales, increase sales, increase sales, but it doesn't mean anything. Okay, when you set your vision, we'll see the next point. So we tend to say that retail is detail. Yeah, but the devil is in the detail. Okay, so what do we do then? Be focused on what matters. Don't get lost in data. Really focus on your objectives and on just some specific KPI. When you are in space and there is an emergency, you don't push every button every time. You need to focus exactly on what you need. You also need to talk the same language with your team, with your manager, with your colleagues, and to train them to understand those KPIs. Because sometimes KPIs are just for the manager or from some people in the team. No, everyone needs to understand what we are looking for. And then, if everyone gets it, it improves the ownership in the project, and it helps everyone to follow the KPIs, to understand them, and then to act the massive action. Okay, now I would like to ask you, how do you eat an elephant? Piece by piece. You need to break down the goals. As I said, in retail, sometimes we tend to say, okay, we need to boost sales, but okay, what does it mean? Maybe you can start with transforming people into visitors. There are some actions, specific action, and some KPIs. Then visitors to client, again, other action, other KPIs. Then client to recurrent client, and then again, other actions. So when you say, okay, I need to boost sales, you really need to understand, okay, are we talking about improving average basket? Because we have lots of clients, but few item purchased in our shop. Or am I talking about getting more clients because I have too few? So you need to break down the goals. Okay, let's now check that in Odoo with a more down-to-earth example with my company, Flower Power, which is a bakery and sweet catering that provide catering, but also e-commerce service with cakes. And I have also 2 bakeries in point of sales. Then it's an omni-channel strategy. And we developed a bit too fast. And so I'm facing this following issue. I don't have a clear view on my data. And I would like to adapt my offers because we tend to launch some products. And now we would like to know which products to keep, which product to stop, and which one to improve. And of course, we would like to maximize our profitability. So in order to check that, I would like first to have a great overview about my omnichannel data. So you can go to sales, playing with sales team. So you go to configuration, sales team, and then you can see that you have sales, the 2 points of sales, my 2 bakery, and the website. Great. So now we go to reporting, product, and I will check the pivot table. I already have some data here, but I want to look for this one. And then you have your sales team here. So you have a dynamic dashboard that you can check in real time as well, all the data, which is quite great. And you can also play with it. So I would like to know what are the best selling product category. So I can play here and see, okay, sounds like it's catering, then birthday cake, and then pastries and breads. And I also can compare my 2 points of sales. I have more pastries here than there, and more breads. That's good. Birthday cake, very good product category. Nice. I have a first overview on my business. What can I do to keep that? I can also go there and save the current search and save it for later. And then I can access to it with my favorite. I can even set it by default if I want to come back on this specific pivot table later. Okay, great. Now, let's assume that you found out that your point of sales are not getting very well and there are some margin issue. No problem. I will go this time in point of sales, reporting, orders, same with the pivot table. And then, this is not what I want. I would like to have my point of sales. Okay, perfect. To see what's happening. So I can check that my best product category are the cakes, of course, a bit more expensive, though they bring a bit more sales than pastries and breads. But we are talking about profitability, so we are talking about margin. So I will add a measure here, and I will add margin. Okay, let's play with it. Okay, what do we see? I'm surprised to see that, okay, pastries, in fact, doesn't get so much margin. That's not good. And what happened? Let's check a bit further and check the product. Okay, what do we see now? There is one product, for example, with good sales that bring money, but with negative margin. So when you have margin issue, what can it be? It could be maybe the costs are too high. So you would need to negotiate with the supplier. Maybe the prices are too low. So maybe you need to rethink about the pricing strategy. Maybe there are too much discount on your product. Ah, that's interesting. Let's check if it's about the discount. Okay, now I had a new measure, and I can say that indeed, we had some kind of discount on this project. So it can mean something that we have too much product, that we need to discount them and to push them at the bin. I know that I didn't make any promotional on cherry pie, so probably it's because we have too much cherry pie. But it's not all. I would like to check, okay, there are lots of discount, but do I have a lot of product that go to the waste? So now I will go and check the inventory. Inventory, I will go to operation, scrap, again, pivot table, and then here I can check, okay, I want to see scrap reason. So I configure that in my inventory to have a traceability about my product and to know where they are going. And then I will have an overview on my product. I will also have the measure, quantity, and I will check that. The difference is really important because you can have between count and quantity. You can have low count, but a high quantity. It means that it can be an accident in the ordering. So the action, you can talk with the people who make the order, and you can check maybe the product template. Maybe the people didn't order the right product. But you can also have lots of quantity and lots of count. It means that it's more regular. It means that you definitely have too much of that product. So, and also you would say, what about the valuation? You can also get valuation by reporting and valuation, but I won't cover it today. Let's assume that we just keep quantity. And then we can check our product. Okay, indeed, cherry pie is in one of the top with also tiger white loaf. And we know that those product was not really good sales. Up. Great. So now we have kind of idea of what's going on in our business, and we can start to set the vision. I would like to increase the average profit on pastries product in POS by 20% within the next 6 months. So I will start with set my SMART objectives. I already checked every KPI, so I will talk with my team and explain, okay, we need to focus on cherry pie because there are some products such as this one with high revenue, high scrap rate, but negative margin. You have some products with low margin, high rate, and low sales. And you have also some products with average sales and good margin. Remember, we're talking about profitability, so we need to focus on those products. So once it's clear for everyone what to look for, then we set our action. For example, we can reduce order for cherry pie, and then set a SMART objective and follow one KPI like scrap per product and check for this specific product. Then we know that there are some products that we can stop within 2 weeks quite quickly. So again, we can check one KPI, sales by product, for those specific products. And for the last one, we can boost product with high margin, like bagel and cinnamon roll. And say, you set these SMART objectives, and then allow the specific action. So for example, you can make some cross-merchandising, you can boost your merchandising strategy with the cashier, you can train the cashier to suggest bagel or cinnamon roll, you can make some campaign, some testing, and so on in order to boost those products, and then it will help your margin to grow. But you would tell that, okay, that's good, but you're going to see some KPI in point of sales, some KPI in sales, some KPI in inventory. How do I sort it out? You can build your own dashboard. So, for example, here, you have already standard dashboard with some KPIs available, and then you can build your own according to your specific action plan. For example, here I have my omnichannel sales. I have my also a graph about discount. Then I can follow, for example, my cherry pie month after month. I even have graph specific for bagels, for example, to see, okay, what's the evolution across the weeks, depending on the different point of sales. And you can add any other data you want with scrap. So from inventory, sales, POS, you can gather everything you need in your personal dashboard. You can also build dashboard by adding also new column. So indeed, I won't cover everything about spreadsheet and dashboard because I already have a really great video on YouTube made by my colleagues. So today I just show you what you can do to give some ideas, some inspiration. But you can build this this graph, this pivot table from those we saw, and add new column, and it's dynamic as well. And also you can just check when you click here. You can just check what happened. At last, I would like to show you that you have data about the time of your orders, the day, the hour, and then it allows you in your personal dashboard to build a graph with the peak hour, which is very interesting, especially, for example, if we take our action with the bagel and cinnamon roll, you would like to organize testing for your client. Now you know that, okay, it seems that in my bakery one, the peak hours at midday and 2, so it was to organize that at that time. But in my bakery two, maybe it's better at 11 or at 5 o'clock. So it gives you also an overview or what, when, and which people you need to put at the right place at the right time. Perfect. So some takeaway. Let's play with sales team. If you have an omni-channel strategy, always think about the root causes. Okay, I have a negative margin. What happened? Always focus as much as possible on margin. Sales can be good, but if you have low margin, you won't succeed. Think about real-time dashboard with Odoo and make it personal. Focus on what really matters and think about benchmarking. Check your different product category, check your different point of sales, and think about order by hour. Now you have this data available. It's always a good thing to organize your point of sales. So, as a conclusion, keep in mind that it's always good to gather the data to set a vision, to be clear with your team on what you are looking for, what you are going to do, set massive action with smart objectives, and for each of those actions, set 1 or 2 KPIs that you will follow in order to reach your smart objectives. And stay curious. If you want to talk about some KPIs or elsewhere, we can talk about it at the product booth at the POS expert with the POS expert team. Thank you for your listening, and I'm waiting for your question. Thank you.
So right now, we don't have any questions, but maybe someone is willing to ask some questions via the pad. We have a little bit time left. See someone typing. So the first question is, I'm following margin persons. How can I see them in Pivo view?
Okay, from now you can not. So you need to build your pivot table with a spreadsheet by adding the column with percentage of margin, but we are working on that to have this KPI in standard view directly in your dashboard available.
Okay, that is the only question right now. I mean, we have a little bit time left, so maybe we just wait until someone has another question for us. Okay. So you see someone typing there.
Maybe for the audience, the time we get some question, I can say that we are actually working on KPIs and dashboards in order to improve what we get, especially in POS, point of sales, and retail, in order to have yeah, more available data in the dashboard in standard, as you asked, for example, percentage in margin, all that kind of things. So, yeah, as you know.
Okay, so the second question is just how. I don't think that's a real question, so I think we're not getting into it. Okay, so it does look like that nobody has any questions.
It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have any more questions.
Okay.
So yeah, but thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.